All right, you guys, welcome back to Judah Vision. As you know, I'm Judah, author of the best-selling Sacred Scroll of Seven Seals series, only available on Amazon.com. And man, have we had some crazy stuff going on here. We actually lost a couple of subscribers, and I don't blame them. Stuff got kind of creepy. I actually uploaded a couple of little clips here. You may have seen them from this Carol Poke Runyon, this very dark black Solomonic magic show that tells you how to actually do it. And I'm sure as they saw this come up, their spirit of discernment began to kick in, and they realized that it was something very ugly. But know that I will never show you any Solomonic rituals here on Judah Vision. Sure, you can see in the beginning of these videos where the providence is, because I left them on purpose so you could see that I didn't make this stuff up myself. But know that I would never subject you to the bells ringing and the swords pointing and them actually evoking and invoking these spirits. That's disgusting, and it goes against everything that we believe here on Judah Vision. So I wanted to get that out of the way, but know that these are going to go in a playlist that I'm about to create as part of the series that we're making right now. This would be show one in the series that's going to tell you how your dollar bill retablos in your pocket is going to, it folds up, as Taco Bell told you, into this little altar right here. And we got a little documentary that's going to tell you exactly how to use it. And again, I didn't release this information. This has been released by Taco Bell, and I've got some imagery that we're going to discuss here. But again, if you watch the Belluminati commercials, you've seen that your dollar bill folds up into this little square altar, Solomonic altar. And again, we believe that this artist associated with the towers on Mandalay Bay, who did some design work for them, shot from this dollar bill retablos. He is a Retablos Ex Votos specialist painter who claims to be anachronistic, says he comes from the past. Just like the Antichrist. But anyways, he painted this little altar, and we're going to be discussing it today and how it works. And to start out, we'll go to Matt's own website, and we're going to explain exactly how this works based on what he tells us. So let's go back to the internet here, and let's go to, this is Matt Cooper's very own website. He tells you how these portable altars work. Again, Matt Cooper's own website, so we're not violating any copyrights. We're going to be viewing his work under the fair use guidelines of the fair use of the copyrights, because all we're doing is critiquing his artwork and checking out his website. Maybe he'll sell more of these Retablos altars, these satanic altars to Solomon. But I'm going to read to you the idea of the devotional format came from the notion of traveling, Matt says, being in limbo for 2 months. My first trip was in 2003 for the Royal Overseas League Artist in Residence. During this time, I found fresh material while visiting art galleries, museums, and heritage sites. And I'm sure these heritage sites are just as Rennes-le-Château in south of France that we discovered in our last series about Henry Wallace and this little magic trick that you're about to learn that's been handed to you on your dollar bill. Soon they're going to line you up and make you do this little magic trick, which will enter you into their spiritual hierarchy. You'll be low in it because the 72 demons of Solomon are all taken. And then probably millions or perhaps soon billions of other spirits, stars will fall down from the heavens, as it says in Revelation, and fill people's bodies. But being away from New Zealand allowed me to free up my acceptance of imagery and entertain illogical ideas and develop them on paper while working on large canvases in my studio in Arbroath. I was letting strange subconscious ideas enter my head and then getting them onto paper as fast as I could. So it appears he was doing this initiation process, and through some sort of spiritual astral projection entered in the spiritual world and received a bunch of information really fast. And I can kind of relate to this because, as you know, if you watch the show, I've received quite a bit of information, but I received mine from the light side, from Yeshua HaMashiach, and he's obviously clearly getting his from the dark side. Many of the devotional paintings come straight from those original drawings completed in while traveling in 2003. The exposure to Renaissance painting and altar pieces while traveling through France and Italy in 2004 and the development of my White World series of drawings emphasized the idea of portable artworks and transportability. And his artworks, again, are retablos. So he's telling you how to transport these, and it's clearly he's been indoctrinated to these mysteries, or initiated, and understands the highest level, which is your dollar bill, which Taco Bell showed you folds into a portable altar, just like he uses. In the devotional painting, Mythmaker, the main idea came from a vague memory that Native American Indian smoke signals were actually a Walt Disney cartoon invention. And then he goes on to say, coupled with the Mappa Mundi, and a typical fresco painting of an impending storm, the painting references the quip, "Never let the truth get in the way of a good story," which is what your American history has been, is a good story, including now your senior art, architecture, print, and song is going to come apart at the seams for you. But we'll go into a little more detail here. But a couple of things I want to show you here is, I told you Matt Cooper and these guys were associated with this bloodline with Skull and Bones. And again, our broth devotional, this is what this guy is discussing here when we're talking about this portable altar. And he goes in here a little bit further down and shows you his association with the Order of Skull and Bones. And I told you these people were Knights Templar, didn't I? And this guy in 05 writes that George Bush, George W. Bush, and Prescott Bush, who were all in this Order of Skull and Bones secret society on Yale University, he's showing them as a trinity of gods. These are ancestor worship. These are his ancestors. And I believe this comes from a grouping of work that he did called Family Ties. Family Ties, this one says fraternity, shows you a bunch of evil fraternities that practice in the dark. They're practitioners of this dark black magic. Creepy stuff here. Another one of creepy looking one of your Messiah. They're going to have a fake Messiah issuing these altar pieces, and they're going to make everybody do it. Look here. Here's the Star of David, supposedly. That's your great seal of Solomon, the right side. The eagle doubles into this, and then he has this tetragrammaton of stars, all the names of God, to evoke this golem. And then look above this, you have this creepy, these look like gray aliens in the shape of a swastika. I would take this stuff very seriously because it's horribly creepy. It shows his association. This is alchemical. Shows this creepy Adam and Eve who fell from grace, clearly all covered in sun god imagery. These creepy cats they worship, that the Knights Templar actually worship black cats. A lot of people don't know that. That's why this number 13, the day on which they were burnt alive, and associated with these black cats. And again, they were burnt alive in front of Notre Dame, which just burnt down, showing that they're back, and that the people who burnt them alive in front of Notre Dame, they burnt that cathedral now in order to retaliate for that evil that was done. So we're going to show you, we're going to go on to another video which will show you an actual portable altar, just like the dollar bill retablos that's in your pocket now. And this one here is from a documentary called Treasures from Heaven, and it's going to show you an actual one from an emperor. And he would take this into battle because, as you know, the emperors were considered to be sun gods. So they had to be able to take these portable altars, and they had to be consecrated by the blood or human remains of dead people. And as you'll see, this one's consecrated by 40 of them. Kind of in the same way that the dollar bill and the pyramid, which is the Luxor, pre-programming for the event in front of the Luxor, in front of Mandalay Bay, where all that blood was shed. It's kind of the same consecration as they do with the dollar retablos by killing all those people and alchemically spilling that blood and putting it on all of our hands in our dollar bills. But this one's the one that was actually taken into battle, a portable altar.